In today's video, we're going to be creating this PowerPoint presentation, which is a combination of the cutout effect and also the blur effect. And we'll also have different designs of different slides in our presentation. So let's get started. I already have PowerPoint open. So this is what we're going to do first. I'm just going to select both of these fields and I'm going to delete them. Next, let's insert our image. So I'm going to open my file explorer. You can go ahead and open the location of your images or just bring them in. The links to all these images will be in the description below. So I'm going to select this image and I'm going to bring this one in, and this is what we have. It's currently on picture format, and I'm going to select crop. Now I'm going to move this handle to the right and I'm going to move this one to the left so that field covers the entire background. Go back to this and then select fill, and this is what we have, and I'll click on escape. I'm going to copy this image and right click, move this image to the side, right click on the background, select format background, select picture or texture fill, and then select clipboard, and we have this. And just go ahead and bring this image back in. Before we move on to the next part, I'm going to select this slide and I'm going to duplicate it, and now we have two slides that are exactly the same. We're going to use this image as it is, and I want them to be exactly the same for the next part. That's why I'm duplicating it now for the next part of our tutorial after we're done with the first slide. Alright, select this image, not the background. Remember, the background is there, and select the image and go to picture format. Once again, select crop. Now move this handle to the 0 mark so that we've cropped out half the image, and once again escape, and we have this. So let me select this image and I'm going to check, go to picture format, and the height is 19.05 and the width is 16.93. So not really, no need for us to know that exactly. We're just going to insert a rectangle. So let's go here and I'm just going to click on this. I'm going to bring this in. Let's remove this and set it to no outline first. Move this till it's also at the center, and then bring it down, and we'll look at this and make sure that it's the same size with the image. That's the image we cropped. Now go to fill. It's currently on solid fill. Make the fill white and then make the transparency 75%, and yeah, we have this. Next, let's insert some text. We're currently in home. Let's go to insert, and I'm going to select text box, and I'm just going to write all caps dark. That's the font. That's the text we're going to be going to. Go to the font, and I'm going to use band script. I don't know if I'm band script. I don't know if I'm saying it right. We're going to use band script semi-bold condensed, and I'm going to select that text, and the size is going to be, I don't know if it's part of it's not. I'm going to make the size 166, and let me expand this out. We have this here like this, and I'm just going to move this here. I'm going to hold Control and create a copy. So hold Control and then you can create a copy. So what we can do for this one, so that we can see it, just go to the fill or just go to the text and just make it white so we can see it. This text is going to be green. Still all caps, make it green. Let me just make this larger so that it fits. Alright, this we don't need to change the color, but first let's align our text properly so that we don't have things moving around. So right click outside the background on this black field, go to grid and guidelines, expand this, and then add vertical guide. Once again, open it, add horizontal guide, and we have this lines here. Now let's start with this first, this dark text. We're going to move this down till we have the bottom of our text on the center line or very close to it, and we're going to have this green. Let's move this like this. Now PowerPoint is indicating the spacing from the one on the top and the one on the bottom is okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. If you want to move it upward a bit, no worries, but it's not really going to matter. So we have this, so I'm just going to go to the grids and guidelines, and I'm going to select guides, and it's going to turn off our lines since we no longer need them. Select this text, the text box, Ctrl D to duplicate, and select it and align it so that it's aligned with the other text. I'm just going to zoom in to make sure, because sometimes you think it's aligned and it's not, but we want it to be perfectly aligned. So I just held Control and scrolled up, and this is how I zoomed in. So I'm just going to go back to our full screen view, and this is what we have. Now we need a selection pane to do this. So I'm currently in Home, go to Arrange, and I'm going to open Selection Pane, and now we can see the arrangement of the elements in our design. So we have picture, which is the picture we cropped. We have the rectangle, which is this rectangle we're seeing here. Then we have text box, and this. So I'm going to move this. So this is the one that says dark, this one says dark. You can rename it if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. So we're going to run through this as quickly as we can. So let's start with the picture. Which one? The one that says picture 7, the only picture in our selection. Select picture. Let's go back to the design tab. We're going to go to picture format, and we have artistic effects. I'm going to select this one, and I'm just going to click on it. It sometimes takes some time to apply. If it doesn't for you, it sometimes just happens like that. So we already have our I have my picture format open on this side. If you don't, right click on the image and then you can open this, or just go ahead and do that. So if I click on artistic effects, it's still the same dialog where we have blur. So the radius currently is 10. We're going to increase it to 100, and I'm going to do that. So once again, it might take a bit of time, and it's currently applying. And yeah, this is what we have, and you can see that the image is blurred. Now finally, go to this picture as well, open picture corrections, and the sharpness should be 0. If it's not, make the sharpness 0. So I'm going to close this, and now let's go back to our selection pane. Select picture 7 and any of the text box. That's the one that is dark. So these two, pick any one. I'm going to start with the picture first. Let me escape. Select the image first, or the picture first, and one of the text that is the dark text. Go to picture format, shape format. Go to the intersect options and select subtract. You may not notice anything now, no worries. We're still in our selection pane. Select the rectangle, hold Control, select the text box, go to shape format, go to the merge options and select subtract, and this is what we have. We now have dark as a cutout. So let me move this so you can see that we have these two cutout effects where we have this image and this rectangle, but we align them so that it will look like one object. So we have this dark green. Maybe let's see it in our presentation view and see what it look like. And yeah, this is the effect we are going for. I'm just going to use escape to go back. Let's move on to the next slide. So we're going to make things easier, we're going to make the title slide for each section. So we're going to have 6 sections where we'll have this sort of introduction into each slide or each section of the slide. So we're just going to do all 6 of them at once to make things easier for us. So select the second slide, and we already have this image duplicated here, and I'm just going to return it back to our background. Now let's select the image and go to picture format. I'm going to select artistic effects, and I'm going to apply a blur to our image. Now let's go back to our format picture pane, and under artistic effects, make the radius 100%. And this is what we have. Now we can insert a shape. So go to shapes, rectangle. I'm just going to click to insert a rectangle. I'm going to remove the outline, and I'm going to extend the image till the shape till it covers the entire background. And now while I'm here, go to fill, change the fill color to white, and make the transparency 75%, like this. Let's insert some text. So go to insert, select text box, and I'll just type lorem ipsum. So to get lorem ipsum text is very easy. Just Google it. It's not a just Google lorem ipsum, and you either get the website, or you can just ask any AI chatbot. It's going to give you lorem ipsum text. So the text for this particular title, this heading, is going to be Playfair Display, and I'm going to select Playfair Display. We're going to make the size 48, and I'm just going to increase it. If you want to get this text, because it's not in PowerPoint by default, just use Font Squirrel or any other places you get your fonts from. But I get my fonts from Font Squirrel. The second text we're also going to use, you can get in Font Squirrel as well. So I'm just going to extend this, and now what I'm going to do next is use Control, and I'm going to just create a copy of this. I'm just going to open my notepad. So this is the text. It's all lorem ipsum text. The reason why I did it like this is so that I don't get confused, and I'm trying to make it as close to the original when I created it as much as possible. So some of them have longer text, some of them have shorter text. So that's why I divided it, but it's all lorem ipsum text. Most of them are even duplicates of each other. So this is going to be the text for this area. So I'm just going to copy this text. Once again, Google it to get lorem ipsum. So I'm just going to paste this. This text is going to be Laura. Once again, you can get Laura from Font Square. Oops, I'm supposed to select text box first and then apply the font. We're going to change the size of this text to 18. Now let's extend this text so we have them on 2 lines, and for me it's currently on the center line, but I'm going to move this so I have them sort of line from at equal spacing from the center line, like this. And just to make sure, go to arrange, go to align. I'm going to align left so that they are both aligned to the left of frame. I don't want to make it too complicated. And I said we should add grid lines, but the edge of this bottom text is on the center line. That's as best as I can explain it. So now we're going to insert another text. We're going to go to insert text box, and I'm going to just write 01. I wrote it outside the background because sometimes if you click on the shape, it might now try to write it within the shape as a text object inside the shape. So we're going to change this to the text we use for our title slide. It will be band script semi-bold contents. So select that text. The size of the text is going to be 600, and it's going to be really large, and it's going to be 600. And we're going to grab this font and we're going to bring it in. Let me align it back. So we have this really large text, and it's even messing with our design, but no worries, when we're done it's going to all fit. So this is what we have, and just move it till it's centered, and the spacing, I don't know, PowerPoint is indicating that the spacing is alright. Let me try and move this bit so we have, I'm just trying to make it fit. I don't want to take it more space than it has to. Alright, so this is what we have. Now we're not going to do the process we did before. Let's duplicate this one more time, because remember we're going to have 6. So select the slide, Control D, and I'm going to duplicate that slide. So let's go to slide 3. Now that we have slide 3, let's move this one around a bit. So let me just try to move it. And now what I'm going to do is select this font and move it to this side, and let me just move it. It's going to, let me just zoom out a bit. I'm going to select these two texts and I'm going to move them this time to this side. Now the right side of the text is touching the center, and let's grab this and I'm going to have this here. Select this and make it 2. I'm going to expand this time. Let's move this one slightly to the left. You know what, let's move this one, let's move it, let me group it. I'm going to just use Ctrl G to group it so that I can align it perfectly to our slide, and I'm just going to have this. So this is what we have, and we have this number 2. Make sure it's centered and move it in like this. So once again, this is what we have. So we have this slide number 1 and we have this slide number 2 like this. Now select slide number 2, which is this one that is indicating number 1. I'm going to duplicate it 1 and then duplicate it a second time. So go to slide 3. I know it might get a bit confusing, but it will make sense. So now to make it easier to understand, let's select 2 and just put it in order. Duplicate it twice, just like we did, and now we have 7 slides. Select slide 5 and put it. So now we have 1 and we have 2. Now this one that is saying 4, you can move it like this. So we have 1 2 1 2 1 2. Select this 4th slide. Now you can make this number 3. I'm going to extend this. No worries, we're going to move this, select this, and we're going to bring this in like this. Yeah, something like this. And we have number 3. Let's go to this one. This is going to be 4. Extend this so that we have 4 here. Maybe let's move this group. I'm going to use my arrow keys and move it so it fits. I'm going to make this 5 and just extend this to we'll have this like this, and I'm going to make sure it's at the center. Maybe let me group this as well and select the group and maybe just move it so it doesn't feel too tight, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it as I go. And our final slide is going to be 6, and this one we didn't have to do anything. So we have slide 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. Now we can now apply the cutout effect. Select this text, Ctrl D to duplicate, and move it so that it's aligned with the first one, and I'm just going to get closer just to make sure. And this is what we have. Let me return it back to the default state. Let me move it, and let's go to our selection pane. So we have our picture, our rectangle, text box 1, text box 2. So this is our lorem ipsum. Let's select both of them, group it, and let's make this lorem. I'm just going to make it so that we won't mistake it for our number text, and I'm just going to name it lorem ipsum. So the group is lorem ipsum, and let's minimize this. Now we have text box 5 and 6, which are the numbers. Select the picture, select one of the text boxes, go to shape format, go to the merge options, select subtract, go to rectangle, hold Ctrl, select the text box. While we're in shape format, go to the merge options, subtract, and you have your slide, which is now 0, 1, and let's look at it in the presentation view. And yeah, this is what we have: clean, simple, and kind of sophisticated. So I'm just going to escape, and this is what we have. Number 2, same thing. Select the text. This is already a group. Let's make it lorem ipsum. Maybe we should have done that even before we began, but don't worry, that's how this process goes. We'll do lorem ipsum and click enter to save that. Let's select this number 2 text and Control D to duplicate, and move this text so that it will be aligned. I'm going to get closer to make sure that they are perfectly aligned. Yeah. Now, while we have our selection pane open, select the picture, select any of the text, go to shape format, go to the merge options, subtract, select the rectangle, select any of the text boxes, shape format, go to the merge options, subtract, and we have this. Let's move on to the next slide, which is number 3. Select this number, and first let's group this as well. Control G to group, and I'm going to rename this lorem ipsum so we don't get confused, and like this. And I'm just going to save that. Select this number 3 and Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to move this so that it fits. If you're not sure that it fits, I'm just going to zoom out. Just select outside this, so you can select the 2 boxes, or you can also select them here. Go to arrange, align, align center, arrange, align, align middle, so that way you are sure. So let's move on. Select the picture, select either one of the text while holding Control, go to shape format, go to the merge options, subtract, select the rectangle, and alright, select the rectangle, select the text, go to the merge options, subtract, and we have this. And this is our number 3. Oops, this is our number 3 slide. We're done with this slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So let's go to number 4. So as we did before, this is already a group. Rename the group lorem ipsum so we don't mistake it for other text. Lorem ipsum, and yeah, minimize this. Select the text, Control D to duplicate. I'm going to select this text and I'm going to align it to the other text. Let me zoom in, and hopefully I've done that right. Just to be sure, that's too much. Select both of them, go to arrange, align, align center, arrange, align, align middle. Select the picture, select either of the text, go to shape format, merge options, subtract, select the rectangle, other text box, go to the merge options, subtract, and we have our 4th slide. Let's move to the next slide. Go to number 5. I'm going to select this. Let's rename this group 1 to lorem ipsum. And next, select the text box, Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to align these two just to make sure. I'm going to select both of these text box, go to arrange, align, align center, also align middle. Go to picture 7, text box 5, go to shape formats, go to the merge options, subtract, then select the rectangle and the text box. While we're in shape format, subtract, and we're done with number 5. Final slide for this section anyway. We're going to go to number 6. Once again, let's rename this group. I'm going to rename it lorem ipsum, like that. Select the text, Control D to duplicate, and I'm going to move it back in place so that it aligns just to make sure, select the two boxes, go to shape format, align, align middle, align, align center. So select the image, one of the text boxes, go to shape format, go to the merge options and do subtract. Rectangle, second text box, which is the number, and once again subtract. And we have all our slides. Let's just go back to the beginning and you can look at the effects from this point. So we have our cover slide, and we have number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So while presenting, they won't come together. We're going to have slides in between, but I just wanted us to do all of them all together since it's the same process. So you can go ahead and try to apply these effects to other projects when you have them. But we are done for all the cover or title slides for the entire presentation as well as the sections. So let's go back to number 1 and then we can create the slides for this particular section. Let's, while we're selected on this slide, we'll go to insert and new slide, blank. Let me return this back to the full view, and I'm going to go back to my images and I'm going to select this one. Once again, the link to all these images will be in the description below. I'm going to just bring that into our presentation. So select this crop and move this handle to the right so it fills the entire background or the right side of our background, and move this to the left. Go back to that crop option, select fill and escape, and we have this. Select the image and let's go to, let me just right click and format picture. So on artistic effects, let's select one of the presets and we're going to select the blur. So our blur effect has been successfully applied on our image. What we're going to do next now is insert a text. So I'm just going to go to insert and text box, and the text here is going to be lorem ipsum. I'm going to select the text box. I'm going to change the text to playfair display. The size is going to be 48 and the color is going to be white. So this is what we have. Just in case, I'm going to align it to the center and have this text at the center of our slide. Next, let's insert a shape. So we're going to insert a rectangle, and I'm just going to select this and I'm just going to click to insert a rectangle. Let's change the fill to white. In transparency, make the transparency 32%. For the outline, we'll make you give it a solid white outline, and for the weight is at 1.2 and 1.5, sorry, and that's fine. Let's change the dimensions of this particular rectangle. The height is going to be 12.45 and the width is going to be 7.95. And we have this. Next, let's insert some icons before we duplicate it. Let's build this card out before we duplicate it. Let's insert an icon. So I'm just going to go to insert, select icons, and we're going to insert one of 3 default icons from the icon library. It doesn't need to be any specific icon, just pick anything you want. Let me see, I'll select this, I'll select maybe this one, and maybe this. So we have these 3 icons. So the map, that's the one I've chosen. You can choose any icon, any 3 icons you want. In fact, you can use the same icon 3 times if that's what you want. Now that we have these icons, their dimensions are currently at their default, which is 2.54. Leave it like that. I'm going to select any one of these icons and I'm going to bring it in like this. Next, let's insert another text box. So I'll go to insert text box, and the heading is also going to be same lorem ipsum, and change this to playfair display. Change the size to 24 and the color remains the same. I'm going to extend it so that we have this, make it center and move it so you have something like this. I'm going to just duplicate this. I'm just going to hold Control and Shift so it's aligned, but we're still going to align it again because we're going to change the properties. Let me just open my notepad. This one is going to have a bit more text, and I'm just going to copy my lorem ipsum text and I'm going to paste it. Let's change this to Laura. Size is going to be 14. Oops. Select the text box before you do that. Laura size is going to be 14. And let's extend this so we have something like this. And let me see the width if you want to see it. So the width is 7.18 if you want it to be exact. Well, yeah, I'm going to select these three. So before we group all of them together, I'm going to select this tree and I'm going to, let me say, do arrange. I'm going to align center, go back to arrange once more, go to align and distribute vertically. So we have this tree. Let me move them like this. So I'm just going to group them so I'll have them as a single object, then we can align it to this rectangle. And I'm just going to select it and select the rectangle, go to align, align center, align middle. Okay, and this is what we have, and we can group this. So the only difference, the only difference for this is going to be the icon. So I'm going to move this icon and select this, hold Control and Shift, create a copy, create another copy. Let's go to our selection pane. So we're currently in group 15. I'm just going to right click and I'm going to ungroup, select this as well, and let's ungroup it. And I'm just going to bring this as close as I can. Let me see where it is in our selection. So it's currently at the bottom, that's why it's not. So I'll select these two and I'll bring them to the top so we can see them. I'm going to select this, I'm going to delete this icon and I'm going to bring this in, and PowerPoint is currently guiding me. This is the center. Select this. I'm also going to select this too and ungroup. Select this group, just this. Sometimes PowerPoint makes it difficult to select particular item. I'm going to select this group and I'm going to ungroup it, and I'm going to delete this. Let me just select it here. I'm going to delete that and I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to align it like this. So select all of these, group, select these as well, Ctrl G. I'm using Ctrl G to group them, and this is what we have. Now what we're going to do is select all of these. I'm going to go to arrange, align, and I'm going to distribute horizontally, and I'm going to group all of them. Next, I'm just going to move this till we have this in the middle of our entire slide, and it's also centered yeah, it's at the center, and there's equal spacing on the left and the right. Maybe I'll just use my arrow key to just maybe move it up a bit so that we'll have a bit more space. You can group the entire thing and center it, but I'm just going to leave it like that. Let's just add a final detail, for visual purposes. So let's insert a shape. I'm going to go to shapes, rectangle, and just at the corner here I'm going to have something like this. So this is the shape we have. Let me see, maybe I'll just move it down a bit, and let me just maybe reduce it to something like this. No real measurements, I'm just eyeballing it. So for the fill, set it to no fill. Shape outline, let's go to more outline colors. We're going to use this color 157F5E. Oops, 157F5E, and we have this green color. For the weight of the shape outline, we're going to make it 4.5, like this. And yeah, or let's make it even, let's make it 6. Okay, and this is what we have. Let's see it in the presentation view, and this is our presentation for the first slide of the first section. And yeah, we're done with this. Let's create the second slide for section 1. Let's call it that. I'm going to go to new slide, and I'm going to create a blank slide. Now right click, format background, and we're going to change the color to black. Next, let's bring in another image. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to bring in this yellow flower image. So what I'm going to do is select crop, and I'm going to move this handle one to this side and the other one to this side, like this. And I'm going to go to these options and select fill. While we're still here, I'm just going to move this handle, and I'm going to make the height 8.5. So let me move it again. I'm trying to get 8.5. I don't know if it will be possible to have that. All right, you know what, close enough. I'm not going to touch it. 8.47, that's close enough. So I'm just going to hold shift, and I'm going to move this image so we can center it on this flower as much as we can, like this. If you want to move it around so that the flower is dead center, you can do that, but I want to have as much as the flower in our cropped image. So I'm just going to click on escape, and we have the top section as this flower. Next, let's insert a text. So insert text box, and once again it's just going to be lorem ipsum. I'm sure you can't see it now, don't worry. I'm going to select the entire text box. Playfair display is the font. Let's make it white, and the size is 48, and I'm going to expand this and center the text. I'm going to bring it, let's say, about here. When we add other text, maybe we'll figure out other things. So let me just select this text. I'm going to use Control, and I'm going to create a copy. Let's change this to Laura, and size is going to be 18. Make the size 18. For this text, it's going to be aligned to the left. Now I'm going to go back. Once again, it's almost the same thing. Just use lorem ipsum text. Google lorem ipsum text and use it. And I'm going to paste it here. Let me expand this till I have my text on 6 lines. Yeah, this is what I want. I'm going for. I want them to be on 6 lines, and let me just kind of figure out my spacing for now, like this. Okay, this lorem ipsum is, I believe, touching the middle here, and let me see if PowerPoint will guide me. All right. Okay, PowerPoint is indicating that this is good, so I'm just going to move it off the center because I want to create a copy. Hold Control and Shift, and I'm going to create a second text box like this. And yeah, this is what we have. I'm just going to move it. You can group it and then center it, but let's just leave it like that. This is what we have. Finally, let's add the touch of that same color we have, or that rectangle we did before. So insert, go to shapes, rectangle, and I'm just going to bring one about here, and let me just, so we don't have too much outside our frame. Don't worry about this other part, it won't show in the presentation. Let me reduce it. Is about, let me see, 5.6, or let's make it, it's 5.23. Once again, doesn't really matter. Let me reduce it on this side as well. Next, no fill. The shape outline is going to change it to that green color, and then make the weight 6. And this is what we have. Let's take a moment to look at it. And yeah, this is our second slide, and we are done with section 1. Now we can go to section 2. Now select this slide 5 or number 2, go to new slide, insert a blank slide. Once again, change the fill color of our background to black. Let's insert another image. So I'm going to go to my presentation images, and I'm going to bring in this image in, and currently the height is set to 19.05 and the width is 15.24. We're going to leave it like that. I'm just going to move this to the right side of our presentation, the slide, and that's it. Next, insert a text box. Once again, lorem ipsum is the text. I'm going to select this and make this play fair display, make the color white. I just noticed a typo, and with the case, and then I'm going to make the size 48. Let's extend this. The alignment of the text is on the left, sorry. Let's duplicate this text box instead of creating another one. So I'm going to Control and Shift, create a copy, change this to Laura, make the size 18. Let's go and copy our text, and this is going to be, this entire thing is going to be my text. Just paste it to kind of match the number of lines or just the general feel of it. So I'm just going to extend this till I have the first paragraph 6 lines, second paragraph 3 lines, and I'm just going to maybe move this a bit, select the second, the heading, maybe move it down a bit. Alright, let's add once again, we're adding those rectangles to just make our slides more visually interesting. Insert, go to shapes, insert a rectangle. Let's just roughly draw one here first. So once again, no fill, shape outline is the green color, make the weight 6, and the height is going to be 14.7. so this one is almost there, make it 14.7, and the width is going to be 3.7. Let's make the width 3.7, and now I'm going to move this rectangle so once it's in the middle, and I'm going to, so the center is at the edge of this image. Now I'm just going to move my 2 text boxes to the side like this, and let me just group them, align middle, and now we have this text in the middle of our slide, and this is what we have. Let's see it in the presentation view, and this is our slide, the first slide for the second section. Now let's go to new slide, create a blank slide, change the fill of this background to black. Let's insert the next image. This time it's going to be this rose, I think, and this is what we have. I'm just going to move it, kind of to the left. Select crop, and I'm going to reduce the width so it's somewhere within the 18 range. Anything within 18 is fine. Let me move it even more. So this is 18.85. Let me make it slightly, okay, 18.3, and this should be within 15. Let me move it once more. Okay, this is 15.31, so 15 by 18. I'm going to move this rose to this side, and I'm going to hold shift and drag this corner out so I can zoom into this image, and I'm going to bring this in like this. Maybe I'll reduce it, yeah, something like this, and we've cropped it. We want to go for this unbalanced look to our slide. So next, let's insert a shape. Go to shape, insert, go to shapes, and we're just going to bring it something like this. Let's select fill, make it no fill, make the shape outline that green color, and make the weight 6 points. Next, let's change the dimensions. Let's make the height 14.7, and the width is going to be 29, like this. And we're going to center it, the middle and also the center. Let's insert another rectangle. So I'm just going to go to insert, shapes, rectangle, and I'm going to just draw a rectangle over this. This time select no fill, change the fill to white, make it the transparency 85%, and then select no outline this time. Now let's change the dimensions of this rectangle. The height is going to be 13.5, and the width is going to be 26. And I'm just going to move it so that, once again, we're going for this kind of, let's say, unbalanced look, so it's closer to the top than it is the bottom, and we just have this rectangle out here. Finally, we have our text. So once again, go to insert text box, and I'm just going to insert the text box, and I'm going to write lorem ipsum. Select the text box, let's make it white, change the font to Playfair Display, change the size to 48, and I'm going to increase the width, align it to the center, and let's kind of move it to the top for now. I'm going to use Ctrl and Shift, and I'm going to create a copy of this. Change this to Laura, change the size to 18. Now I'm going to copy my text. It's the same text, same length of text for the first and second slide. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to paste this text in here, and I'm going to extend this. I don't really have any width in mind. I just want the first slide to be on 4 lines and the second to be on 2 lines, the second paragraph to be on 2 lines. And I'm just going to give quite a bit of space between the text and the heading, and I'm going to go to arrange, align center, and I'm going to group them. So keeping true to our balanced look, I'm going to have this text somewhere around here. Once again, I'm just eyeballing it as I go. I'm just going to have it around here, something like that. So I'm going to close this and let's see what we have. So I'm going to go to my presentation view, and yeah, this is what we have. Let's maybe recrop this image so that the row is a bit smaller, so that the text is only on the green background. So I'm going to go here, go to crop, and I'm going to just move these rows a bit, reduce the zoom, escape, and we have less of the rows there. So part of it is touching, no worries. No, yeah, that's it. We're done with this slide. Let's move on to the slides for number 3. So select this slide, and under new slide we'll insert a blank slide. So once again, let's go to our images, and we're going to use this image this time. I'm going to just have that. So select crop and move this handle by the right, fully to the right. The one at the left, move it to the left. Go to the crop, set it to fill, and then we're just going to close that dialog. I'm going to select this image and I'm going to copy it. Go to format background and select picture or texture fill, and I'm going to select picture source as clipboard, and we have this. So we don't need this image in our presentation, so I'm just going to delete that. Next, let's insert a shape. So I'm going to go to insert and go to shapes, and I'm going to select a rectangle, and I'm just going to draw one across our entire slide like this. Let's remove the fill, shape outline, let's make it that green color, and we'll make the weight 6 points. Then let's change the height to 14.8, and the width is going to be 18.6, like this. And I'm just going to close this. Now once again, let's align it to the center and to the middle. Let's insert another rectangle. So go to insert, shapes, rectangle, and I'm just going to draw one across our slide, and just to make sure it's 19.05, so it's going from the top to the bottom. Let's remove the outline, so we're just going to make this no outline. Change the fill to black like this. Let's change the width to 15.5, like this. And once again, let's center it like that. Let's add a line. This I want to create an effect that part of this rectangle is behind and is in front. So how we're going to do that is going to go to insert, shapes, and line, and I'm going to hold shift so that I'll have a perfectly straight line across here. Let me the length of this rectangle, let me select this rectangle here, and the width of it is 18.6, so our line should be the same, maybe the same thing or slightly longer. So I'm going to make it 18.6 like this, and let's go to the outline, make it green, and the weight is going to be 6 points. And let me zoom in to get closer to make sure, and make sure your line is aligned to the rectangle. Maybe you can make the line smaller so that you can have it perfectly over this. So I'm just going to return it back to the fit view, and now we have this effect where it looks like part of the rectangle is in front and the other part is behind. Of course, the final detail is going to be our text. So go to insert, and we'll go to text box, just draw a text box, and we're going to type lorem ipsum. select the entire text box. Let's change the color to white. Change the font to Playfair Display, and the size is going to be 48. Let's expand this. Let me move it so that I know that it's within this rectangle. Yes, align it to the center. Now I'm going to use Control to create a copy, and I'm going to change this to Laura, change the size to 18. Let me go back to my notes, and we're currently working on 3. So this is the text for slide 1, and I'm just going to copy this entire text. So it's 2 paragraphs for this one, and I'm going to paste it here. Now I'm just going to extend this. Once again, no specific width. I'm just going for a certain fill. So I have the first paragraph in 6 lines and the second in 3 lines, like this. And I'm just going to move this till I have it in the middle. Let me bring this down a bit. So I'm just going to select these 2 just to make sure align center, and I'm just going to group them so they can just be one single text object. And I'm just going to move it around. This rectangle is already aligned to the middle and to the center. Let's do the same for this text. So go to arrange, align center, arrange, align middle, and this is our slide. Let's look at it in the presentation, and yeah, this is it, and we're done with this one. The next slide is going to be very simple. We're just going to duplicate one of our slides and just move things around. It's going to be quick and straight to the point. Let's scroll up. This slide number 3, that's this one with the cards. We're just going to select that and we're going to duplicate it. So Control D to duplicate, and now we have a copy of this slide. Let's bring it down underneath the slide we just finished working on, and we have it here. So first, select this text and move it all the way, let's see, around here. Next, select these cards and we're going to ungroup it. Now leave the one in the center where it is, and I'm going to select this one and I'm going to bring it down till it's touching the bottom of our slide. Select this one and move it so it touches the top of our slide, like this. Oops. So we have this, but they are not quite there, so I'm just going to move this one maybe just to the top so it looks like we have it spread out equally, where we have the spacing like this. Next, so this is what we have here. Next, this rectangle, let's move this one down here. Let me reduce this one. Once again, I'm not using any specific measurements. I'll show you what it is in case you want to know exactly what I'm using, and I'm just going to extend this till it's here so that that space doesn't look too empty. Once again, this is just to make our slide interesting. So let me go to the shape format. Height is 4.89, width is 10.48. If you want to use exactly the same dimensions, that's fine. If you want to just eyeball it and do it freely, that's also fine. Finally, we're going to change this image. So I'm going to select this image and I'm going to delete it. Looks weird now, don't worry. We're going to go to images and we're going to use this image next, and I'm going to bring it in. So what I'm just going to do is select crop and move this handle to the right and move this handle to the left, and then fill, and then we're going to have this. I'm just going to click escape. So I'm going to select this image and I'm going to copy it, and we're going to go to background, format the background, select picture or texture fill, and then select clipboard. I'm going to select this image and delete it, and there we go. I'm just going to move this one a bit, and that's it. So let's go to our presentation view, and there you go. We have this next slide. If it was too fast, I'm sorry. Maybe just take things slow. But yeah, we are done with the second slide for number 3. Let's now work on the slide for number 4. So what we're going to do is go to 4, new slide, insert a blank slide. Let's go to our images, and this time we're going to use this image and we're going to bring it in like this. Next, go to crop, drag this handle here, move it to the right, this one move it to the left, and then select fill, and this is what we have. I'm just going to click on escape. So what I'm going to do now is select the image and I'm going to copy it. So copy the image so you have it on your clipboard, and go to the background, select picture or texture fill, and select clipboard, and we have this image. And I'm just going to go ahead and delete that image. Next, let's insert a rectangle. So we're already in home. I'll just go to shapes, select the rectangle, and around here just going to insert a rectangle and move it to the top left corner of our background. Let's make the height 14.7 and the width is going to be 10, like that. Now let's remove the fill, select no fill, shape outline is that green color, and the width is going to be 6, and we have this. Next, next we're going to insert another rectangle. Go to, already home, I'll just go to shapes, select this rectangle, and I'm just going to make it larger. Shape outline, select no outline, and change the fill to black. Let's change the height to 14.7. The height is 14.2, so I'm just going to reduce this 14.2, and the width is going to be 27.75. Let me just 7.5, and the width is 27. Height is 14.2. The width is 27.75. So I'm just going to go to align center, and I'm going to go to align middle. Now let's just select this rectangle with the outline. I'm going to hold Control, and I'm going to create a copy and bring it around here, so it's on the bottom right corner. And let's reduce the height to 5.7. Let me just use this. Let's reduce it to 5.7, and I'm just going to move this here like this. So we have this. Now we can now add our text. Go to insert and text box. I'm going to write lorem ipsum, of course. Select the entire text box, change the font to Playfair Display. Size is going to be 48, and color is going to be white. Extend this, and let's just move this to the center, and then also align the text to center. Let's create a copy of this text box using Control, change this to Laura. Size is going to be 18. The alignment stays the same. Let's go to the slides. So for slide 4, this is all the text for slide 4. I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to select the entire text, and I'm going to paste this new text, and I'm just going to extend it once again. No real measurement, I just want the text to occupy a certain amount of lines, and I want the top to be 4 lines, the bottom to be 2 lines, something, and will look something like this. So I'm going to use my arrow key to just kind of move this down, and then once again select this and move it down a little, and we are done with this slide. Let's look at it in the presentation, and yeah, this is what we have, and we're done with this slide. Now let's go to slide number 13, or this one that says 5. Let's go to insert, and then we'll just home, and then we'll go to new slide, and then we'll insert a blank slide. Once again, let's format the background and make it black. Let's now insert a shape. So I'm just going to go to shapes, rectangle, draw this rectangle, and I'm just going to move it here. We may still move it again when we insert our image, but for now this is where it is. Select no fill, shape outline, make the outline that green color, make the weight 6 points. For the height is going to be 16.4, so 16.4, and the width is going to be 8.2, like this. And yeah, let me just move it. We may still have to move it again. Once I add my image, I'll figure out where everything goes. Now let's go to our image, and the image for this part is this particular image, and I'm going to bring this in. Now let me just change the width to 11.6, and the height is also going to change. So I'm just going to move this till I have it about, maybe see here, somewhere just here, very close to the edge of our background. And this rectangle looks fine. We're just going to leave it there. Finally, we have our text. So insert text box, and I'm just going to draw this, and I'm going to type lorem ipsum. Select the entire text box, change it to play fair display, change the color to white, make the size 48. Let's expand this. The alignments, we'll leave the alignment to left, and let me just move it till, let's see, align to the center, like this, or the middle, I don't know, here basically. So let's use Shift and Control to create a copy while leaving it aligned. Let's change this to Laura. Size is going to be 18. Let's copy our text for 5. This is going to be our text, and I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to select this text and paste. Once again, I'm just going to expand the text till I have maybe this. So this is actually too close, so I'm just going to move this so we can get even closer, like this. And I'm just going to group these two, go to arrange, align, and align middle. And yeah, we're done with this slide. Let's look at it in the presentation, and this is our slide. Now we are going to work on our final slide. So go to number 6, or the 15th slide, or the one that says 6. We're going to go to new slide, insert a blank slide. Let's make the background black. Once again, I'm just going to select that. Let's go back to our images, and I'm going to select this image, and let's go ahead and bring it in. And let me see, I think the is aligned to the center. We're still going to check. The height is 19.05, 12.7. As I just inserted it, that's what it came in as, and we're going to leave it at that. So let's just go to align center. Yeah, it's already at the center. Next, let's insert some icons. Let's go to insert icons, and I'm just going to give it a moment to load. And this one, I'm going to actually search for some icons. Let's use something different this time. I just want to pick something that goes with the theme of our entire project. So it's obviously has a lot of flowers or leaves. Just going to insert those two icons. So while they are both selected, let's change the graphics fill to white, and I'm also going to change their dimension to 5. So when you change any dimension, it's going to change. So I'm just going to select this one. Let's bring this here. Okay, let's kind of have it here so we can now figure out the spacing for the text. So let's go to insert and select text box. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to type Lorem Ipsum. And once again, select the entire text box, change the color to white, change the text to Playfair Display, and the size is going to be 28. And let's extend this till we have this center height. I'm going to hold Control and Shift, and I'm going to just create a copy down. So PowerPoint is kind of indicating that that spacing is fine for whatever reason. I'm just going to leave it like that, and I'm going to change this to Laura, and I'm going to reduce the size to 14. Let me go back to my notepad, and I'm just going to copy this entire thing and select everything, paste it. Now I'm going to make this I want it to be 8 lines, and that's what I have here. So based on this, the spacing isn't that we have a lot of space. Let me maybe move. I'm going to use my arrow key to move this down a bit, and I'm going to select everything, go to arrange, align center, arrange, align, and then I'm going to distribute vertically. So what I'm going to do is select just these two, hold Control and Shift, and I'm going to move this here. So I'm just going to select this one too, go to arrange, align center, and I'm going to group it, select these three, group it like this. So I'll just move one of them so that we'll make sure that the spacing is exact. So I'm holding Shift while I do this, and so they are equal distance from the image, but I did the same distance from the edge. I don't think so. Let me select just this one on the left, and yes, so equal distance from the edges of our background and also the image. And we're going to have this. Let me just use arrange, align middle, select this one as well, arrange, align middle as well, and that's it. Let's see it, and this is our final slide done. Now that we're done with all our slides, let's add a transition. So what I'm going to do is go back to the first slide, and I'm going to click on slide 1, go to transitions, and I'm going to select reveal as our transition. We're not going to change any other thing. We're going to leave everything as it is. Once again, during all my projects or all my presentations or anything I'm creating, I always encourage you to pick whatever you want, but I just chose this because I felt like that's the one that went best for this. Go to apply all, and I've clicked apply all, and now we've applied this transition to all our slides. Let's see it in the presentation, and I'm just going to click on that, and yeah, we have our first slide. I'm using the arrow key. We have this number 1, and then we have this. I'm going to click on the next slide, and then we have this. Yeah, that's it. So we are done with this video. Again, change things around if you want to. Maybe play around with other fonts or colors with images with different color schemes, maybe lighter colors, try pastel colors, or maybe something that has more yellow in it. in time, whether it's on Pinterest or Instagram or even on the community tab, post other image variants of this particular presentation so you can see what you can do with it for different images. But that's it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, and leave me some suggestions in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.